Welcome to the Logic in Life Coaching Podcast, episode 20.
Everyone wants happiness and success, and we know how to get you there. Come listen to the Leadership Society of Arizona as we teach a proven logic to help you simplify life, overcome challenges, and predict the future. You're listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast.
Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. My name is Chuck Solanas, and I'm joined by Dr. Jacob Kashiwagi. We are excited to have you on.
Hi, Chuck. It's great to be here again.
Another week. So, today we're going to talk about expectations, and having high expectations is something that I think I've been plagued with for my whole life. And so,
Probably.
So what I want to try and cover...
Well, most people have been plagued with that their whole life, Chuck, so...
Okay. So, I want to try and address this. How can I or other people in the audience solve this problem of having too high of expectations for themselves? Like for me, I like to compare how I should be acting and compare it with how I currently am acting. And I don't really know how to make the jump. I think what goal I'm making or what expectations I have are realistic, and then I seem to do something completely different. So how do I lower my expectations without telling myself not to have goals or dreams? Because I feel like with these high expectations, I set these goals, these dreams, and sometimes I don't meet them. So,
Okay. So this question sounds very familiar. One dealing with stress, because I think the expectations bring stress on you, and you're trying to figure out how can I have a desire to be better without bringing the stress that comes with knowing you have to be better, knowing that you're not where you want to be at yet.
The stress of knowing that I have to be better. Yes. Yeah.
Well, this is an easy one. Don't feel like you have to be better. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so answer is pretty simple here. Okay? And no, it's not, don't worry about it, because I know that a lot of times when we're stressed, we're like trying to achieve like something that's going to change the world, trying to be the best self we can be, and people tell you not to worry. It doesn't really help very much. You still have those expectations of yourself, you still stress about it. The answer that's very simple here is help other people.
Okay.
Service is a key.
Okay, so say for example, I help someone to find directions to a store. Is that what you're saying? That's going to solve all of my problems with high expectations?
That will make you feel a little bit better when you do that.
Okay.
Of course, when you're done doing that and you thought about it and you realize what you should have been doing while you were helping that person go to the store, then you'll be like, oh no, and be even more stressed.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
My problem.
Okay, let's get down and simplify this a bit. Okay. The only reason you have these high expectations, the only reasons that you stress is because you don't accurately understand reality. You don't understand who you are. You don't understand what's good. You think I'm moving so slow and everybody else moves so fast, right? You're thinking I'm like down here with my capability and everybody else is up here with their capability. You don't actually realize what's reasonable for you to do. You don't know what's good for you. You don't know, hey, I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. And Because you don't understand that, you start to worry, you start to stress. Because you don't know if you're going to make it, you're thinking, I got this much to go and I'm a quarter done with my life and I'm only like right here. Right? That's what you're thinking, and you're looking at this huge gap and you're saying, I'm never going to make it.
Right.
And that's what causes stress. But the more you understand reality, the more you understand who you are and what your capability is, everything's going to seem more reasonable. You're going to be able to realize, hey, actually, it's not this far, maybe it's only this far. And you're going to begin to realize that, hey, you're farther ahead than you think you are, you're doing really well, you're going to make it, right? You're going to be great, you're going to be able to achieve your goals. And as you understand this and see this, your stress will go down, your unrealistic expectations will go down, and you'll feel satisfied with who you are. Plus, you'll keep growing. Plus, you'll have the motivation to keep moving, to keep changing and being better. What we need to do here is we need to figure out, how do we understand reality? How do we get this accurate picture? And the only way to do it is to understand other people. And the only way to get a better understanding of other people, what's regular, what's irregular in life, what is going on, is you got to get to know other people. And the best way to get to know other people is by helping them, by servicing them.
Okay.
You seem confused here, Chuck.
Well, I mean, so you're saying I get a better understanding of my reality and reality for me by helping others?
Yes, because other people, are they living in an imaginary world?
No.
No, so other people are living in reality. They're experiencing reality. And you want to know what reality is. It's easier to learn reality from other people than from yourself. Right? Oftentimes you're too hard on yourself. Oftentimes you're judging yourself based off of what you see on social media. Right? Which is totally inaccurate.
How is it inaccurate?
I don't know, Chuck, but I have a feeling that when I look at all my friends, and every single day they're happy 24/7, and they get to go on all these amazing adventures with their friends and family, and everything is just happy in their life, I got a feeling that that's not right.
You're saying that everyone is not having the happiest day of their life right now?
Chuck, this might be a very good day for you, because you're going to find out, no, they're not happy 24/7. Now, you must be, like, in figuring this out, you must be so relaxed now.
Wow. My expectations have gone way down.
Oh. But yes, oftentimes you're getting an inaccurate view of people. But when you really go in and you help others, and you start to learn their problems, you start to learn what they go through, you're going to start to realize, hey, I was doing that. And hey, I have this issue. And I'm not the only one. Actually, like 50 other people I know are worse off than I am.
So you should just say, you're worse than I am, and that makes you have a better expectation of yourself?
Trust me, Chuck. When everybody around you is having a tough time, a tougher time than you, and you look at yourself, you're going to be like, wow, I'm not too bad. I'm not nearly as bad as I thought I was.
Sheesh. So I'm literally going to be getting my joy out of other people's pain.
No. You don't get your joy out of their pain they're going through. You get your joy out of realizing how good you have it. and becoming more grateful for your situation and what you have to go through.
So I count my blessings, per se.
That's a good way of thinking about it. You know, there actually is a religious quote that they have that I always explain to everybody because I think it's a great quote. And the quote is something like, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." I like this quote because it's exactly what service does. See, what happens is we get so caught up in our own world. And because we know so little about life, we only know about our life, right? We only know about all the pain and struggles we go through and how imperfect we are. But this is only a little sliver of life. It's like we're looking at life through one person's perspective, which if this is 100 people's perspectives, this is like our perspective. But it's because we don't know reality. We don't know the truth. So as you go and serve other people, I go serve this person here. I start not only to see my sliver, but I start to open my sliver and see out of another person's perspective. And then I go serve this person here and here and here and here and here and here. And I serve so many people, my view of life, it literally starts to improve. And whereas I was stuck, I was like trapped in this little piece of life, as I help more and more people, it's like I'm freed. Because as I learn reality, it actually sets me free. I'm no longer in this little cage, right? In this little sliver of life. I now can see everything. And I now understand accurately what's going on.
Right. Say, for example, you could see maybe like 0.1% of information, and then with each person that you help, you see a little more of a percentage of information.
Yes.
And then maybe at the end of your service, you'll end up seeing maybe 1% of the information that could be available.
So let's put this in perspective here. If each person opens your little eye slit 0.1%, then you have to help probably like 1 million people.
Right.
Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You're probably going to progress much more rapidly than that. But the more people you help, the greater your vision, the greater your understanding, the more freedom you have. Mm-hmm. 2 is that so don't be too hard on yourself while you're figuring this out, right? You're not going to serve a person, like you're not going to help someone get to the store and then all of a sudden feel free, feel relieved, feel de-stressed, have no unrealistic expectations. Did that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true.
Now, one of the things I like to tell people is an experience. Because as you learn reality, as you know the truth, it not only sets you free in your mind so you can relax, you can enjoy your life, you can have your hopes and aspirations without being stressed, but it actually physically frees you as well. It actually makes it easier for you to be successful because physically your world becomes bigger. There's more options for you. So for example, I went to Washington, D.C. For a little time. And there I met some Africans. Africans meaning straight from Africa. They weren't raised in the U.S. They came from, Nigeria many times, some other places as well, like Jamaica, Egypt. But they will come to the U.S. and they will settle down in Washington, D.C. Now, you think, why are you going to settle down in Washington, D.C. that gets really cold in the winters and it's a really high cost of living? Why wouldn't you go to a place like Arizona? Arizona is more like a desert climate, right? It has better, lower cost of living. easier to find a job oftentimes as well. Why would you go to Washington, D.C.? And as I started talking to these people, I started to realize they thought all of America was like Washington, D.C. The only reason they went to Washington, D.C. was that's where their family came to. That's where their friends had been. And I start talking to them, as I help them out. And, oftentimes I would help them, learn where to go, what to do, how to find jobs, right? And as I would talk to them, I would say, don't you know that there's a place called Arizona in the US that not all states in the US are like here? And oftentimes they wouldn't even know. And as I explained to them Arizona, it not only taught them more, but it actually opened their vision and physically made the United States bigger for them, right? And some of them actually, I think, off of learning about Arizona in other states, they actually were thinking about moving. And this is much like as you serve people and as you get to know other people and help them, you actually will start learning things you never knew about life. Not only will it expand and free your mind, but it will actually physically free you. Your world will become bigger. Your physical options will become more because you're going to learn about what's going on more and what opportunities there are. Does this make sense, Chuck?
Yeah, it does. I can see a lot of different people. If they just knew that there was a better option, they would take the better option.
Yeah. But aren't you like so pumped to go out now and help other people so that your world becomes bigger, your stress lowers, more realistic expectations, where you can have peace, but achieve your hopes and aspirations of changing the world as well?
I don't think it quite filled all of that, but I think we're somewhat there. I think we're like, all right, helping people. I can understand a little more. I can do better things. I can expand my worldview. I mean, that's a good thing. I'm not just gonna lower all of my expectations because I've been in the situation where I've been in the scenario where I'm helping a ton of people. I'm spread every which way. I'm in so many different clubs and organizations. I'm working 100 hours a week, and I know nothing about life.
Now remember, Chuck, when you service other people, a lot of times when people let me explain. Japanese were big on efficiency, especially growing up. Efficiency is key. So when I go to service activities, I'm looking around, right? And I see people talking, we go to someone's house, I see like the other person who came to help clean the house, they're talking with the homeowner, they're like making friends and whatnot. And I'm like, why are they wasting their time? I'm going in, I'm cleaning really quickly, the most efficiently I'm getting out. Because nobody wants to spend a long time at a service activity. But what I realized was I was missing. I wasn't doing it right. The whole key about servicing other people is getting to know the person, understanding what their needs are, understanding why they're in their situation, what's going on, understanding who they are, spending the time with the person you're servicing and understanding their vision of life, where they are, why they need help, things like that. And so it's important that as you serve other people, you do it the right way, which is you have to get to know them. You have to understand them. You can be servicing hundreds of people, but if you're not really understanding them, if you don't see and understand their vision of life, then you're not getting the benefit of actually helping them out. In fact, in many cases, you might be thinking you're servicing them, but maybe you're not really servicing them as much.
So you're saying that if you're at like a volunteer project and you're supposedly like the project is to paint over some graffiti. I've done that before. So at that service project, the main thing I shouldn't be focusing on is not the graffiti, but the people next to me while I'm painting over the graffiti.
Yeah, it's don't get too busy doing the technical work of the service to understand that service is about getting to know other people, getting to know what they need, getting to know their vision so that you can do the service in the exact way that they need help. Did that make sense?
Right.
And in doing so, it will also free you. It will also help you to understand.
Okay. All right. So as a recap, what you're saying is that if I am trying to decrease all of my expectations on myself, I need to help other people. And if I'm helping other people, then I also need to try and understand that person. So when I'm actually understanding that person, then my sliver of reality that I'm seeing, the 0.1%, may go up to 0.12% or a little more than that. So over time, if I'm continually helping people, then my understanding of life grows. My expectations will become more realistic.
You got it. And you'll become less stressed. Even though you have hopes and dreams, you can do it without being worried, without having this burden on you.
Got it. And then my dreams may be more in line with how can I help more people?
Probably, actually. Yeah. And really, that's how you become successful. Business is all about service, all about understanding what people need and you being able to supply it to them.
Makes sense.
Hey.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much, Dr. Jacob, for answering that question. I appreciate your time, and viewers, thank you for watching, and listeners, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. It would be great if you could take a moment to write us a review. For any questions, comments, or topics that you would like to have addressed on the show, email the team at leadaz.org. To learn more about the Leadership Society of Arizona, visit us at leadaz.org.